from Paramore. Right now we're backstage at the O2 before our show tonight, so I thought I would walk you through a little bit of our tour wardrobe and show you how I'm dressing lately. So typically my personal style, I feel like there's two gears. There's either I'm dressing like a 90s hardcore boy, or I'm like dressing like a 60s mod, maybe a little 70s sex kitten. You know, there's like really no in between. I'm a Gemini rising, maybe that's what it is. I have no idea, but it has plagued me all my life because I feel like fashion, I'm always trying to figure out which is more me. And the truth is, I think both of them are me, and that's okay. This is a just typical day in the life on tour. We got Dickies, can't go wrong. These are my 10-year-old low top docs that are my favorite. This is a new Susie and the Banshees vintage tee. I'm a collector of vintage punk shirts, so, you know, Taylor York from Paramore. This is one of his guitar straps as a belt, so it's really just whatever's in reach. That's what I throw on for a day on tour. And then for shows, we have quite a nice selection of like structure and a lot of mini dresses. I like to show a lot of leg. I'm a very small person, so when I get on stage, I want my legs to look really long, because I feel like when you're on stage, you should just sort of be all the things that you hope and dream and wish about, and you manifest that, and then you come out and you are that person. It's a really amazing place to escape and kind of feel other. So yeah, on stage I'm a 6 foot tall, long-legged bitch, and it feels good. This is like case in point. One of my favorite dresses. It's just a simple whip-stitched white mini dress, little pack pocket sewn on the back. And it was already a mini dress, but we hiked it up about 3 inches. Some of my favorites right now are these Paloma wool crocheted dresses that kind of have more of like a Jane Birkin vibe, and they come with like a low slung, big wide belt. So I've been wearing those on stage as well. Not this one yet, as you can see, we still got tags, but. Also, the tiniest, skimpiest little tennis skirt. I mean, so short that the crotch comes out the bottom. That is rated X, my friends. But my legs look, I mean, we're talking Julia Roberts. There's some stuff that I still have yet to wear on stage. There's things that like are a little too structured for stage that I'm saving for events or other like press appearances. Chou Chou Tong is one of my favorite new labels to wear. I wore a lot of Chou Chou, like for our album promo, on our album cover, in the first music video for This Is Why. I like a lot of their textures, their color palettes, and the fact that they use really playful, you know, like bows and flowers, but it always feels, I don't know, there still seems to be like a cool edge with Chou Chou. This is another Chou Chou dress that I'm saving for something. Like, this would never work on stage at a Paramore show. If you've ever seen a Paramore show, it's kind of like mixing being a gymnast and like Iggy Pop. Like I get up there and I think that I'm like part punk, part metal dude, but like I need clothes that I can actually move and do acrobatic stuff in. We love a pattern and we love a 3-piece situation. So this is kind of like, these are in rotation right now. We also have some nice Courage. Don't ask me to say this the right way. Not only am I American, but I'm from the South. So this is one of my favorite designers, and we've done a lot of mini skirts and like vinyl for this album and for different shows. This was an Anna Sui dress that we opened the tour in Dublin, and I loved it because it was so comfortable, but it just looked so great, and it was just structured enough to look really clean in the tour photos. I tend to prefer vintage. I like storied clothes. I like, even, you know, at home, I like items in my house or furniture in my house that just has history to it. So I would say with clothing, I'm very similar, and I can actually show you a few things that I've gotten on this tour. I like my coat closets. are just overflowing. I can't stop buying jackets and coats. This Versace blazer that I love, it's very simple, just classic. Nice collar detail, and these buttons are amazing. And I really don't love perfection. I kind of enjoy a nice flaw or two. Here's another coat that I got. We go shopping a lot when we're in Dublin because we have a friend named Ayuba who owns now 4 different locations of a vintage shop called Tola. And so the first time we went to Tola, I found a vintage YSL bomber that's like white and black patchy patterned, and I had to beg him to sell it to me, and the only way that I was able to get him to do that was to say that I promised to give it back when his daughter turns 18. So, you know, I've got a few years, but it's my favorite coat. I would say the item that I wear the most on tour, it's typically shoes, because I throw a lot of like the show shoes and the extras in our wardrobe cases, and then I keep a couple of pairs with me in my suitcase. And the ones that I'm wearing now, these torn up Docs, I just can't seem to get rid of them. They're so comfy. Back in 2013, when we were making all the videos for our self-titled record, I was being dressed by a woman named Lizzie, who at the time was dressing Gwen Stefani, and so being like a 23-year-old girl, I couldn't believe it. And she got me these before tour, and because I loved hers, she had a pair, and so I haven't really taken them off since. And you can tell I would much rather wear like a beautiful dress or like a beautiful suit and then like shitty torn up shoes, because again, I think to look really lived in and to look comfortable in your skin and a little bit imperfect, that to me is fashion. Okay, so I think maybe what we should do is try on a couple of these tour looks for you and show you kind of what we're all about. This is my favorite tour look. It's, you know, it's atomic, kind of 60s nuclear sex kitten fashion, and I really enjoy it. You know, it shows enough leg. We've got knee highs, which doesn't happen often for me because again, I'm really petite, so I try to show as much leg as possible, but I love a flat boot for stage. It's perfect for a Paramore show because it's so active and I have to run around, and well, I don't have to, I just do. These by far boots are super, super comfortable. They're definitely my favorite knee highs that I've ever had. And speaking of shoes, I think we're finally getting the hang of how to incorporate like what actually works in a Paramore show with what I enjoy fashion-wise. It kind of took a long time because when I was younger, I refused to wear anything fashionable. I didn't want people looking at me. I didn't want to be the standout, even though I was the only girl in the band and I was the singer. So, you know, as I'm getting older and I'm just naturally a lot more interested in fashion, it's been kind of frustrating and really fun to figure out what works with my job and what I actually enjoy as a person. And I'll tell you, some of my favorites are these Marni Mary Janes with the most insane tread on the bottom. When the guys comment, when I come into the room wearing one of the show looks, when we like get ready to go on stage and we're huddling, when the guys comment on like my shoes or something I'm wearing, you know it's cool, because they're more stylish than me, honestly. They really are. This is kind of classic. It's like, it's not a Doc, but same vibe. And also, it can't hurt to have a platformed sole to help out my 5'3" situation that I've got. And right now, just to kind of go along with the whole vibe of This Is Why, our new album, Lindsay Hartman, my incredible stylist and friend, has just been on a mission to find Mary Janes that won't fall apart on stage, and so far it's actually these Reformation ones. These are really lightweight and they feel quite, in a way, like they feel like they would be flimsy on stage, but they've held up, so love those. And then campers. Camper is just some of my favorite shit kickers, you know. You can't really go wrong, and they're super comfortable. Okay, I'll try on something else for you guys. All right, here's another look for the show. This kind of checks a lot of boxes for me. It feels mod, it's Coperni, love Coperni. I'm a really big fan of like ballet core silhouette. Mary Janes are also just ballets. You know what I mean? We just got a ballet moment. Black sheers, which is my all-time favorite thing to wear. These are sheer techs, by the way. Sheer techs do not rip. And I have a dog who jumps all over me. They don't rip. And then Coperni. And a little sparkle. So maybe, actually, to end this, I'll show you what I'm gonna wear tonight in London at night 1 of our 2 shows at the O2. Ta-da! 16-year-old Hayley would choke. Because again, I never liked standing out, but we're on an arena tour, man. And this is Sport Max, and I'm very stoked about it. I love the silhouette. So we're giving sparkle in London tonight, night 1 at the O2. And I'm really, really excited about this show and this city. Thank you, Coveteur, for hanging out with me backstage and letting me talk about fashion, which I don't get to do a whole lot. That was a lot of fun. I'll see you at a show. See you somewhere out there. Bye.